How do we trade crypto from India? Is it really legal or not? Even if it is legal, what is the overall tax that we need to pay? And what is the overall risk that is involved? So there are a lot many questions that might be going on within you related to crypto. So this video will totally address all those queries, and by the end of this video you will really have the confidence to take your first trade with respect to crypto trading. So let's compare with respect to stocks and crypto trading. With respect to stocks, you have multiple companies like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, and all these companies as an underlying business, right? So people buy those stocks and invest in those stocks. But is there any specific underlying with respect to crypto? There are certain underlying where, just like how we have business here, people have technology here. With respect to Bitcoin, there are certain blockchain technology on top of that the whole transaction goes through, and similar to that you have Ethereum, similar to that you have Solana, and all these coins has certain technology behind it, and that is why people are betting on these coins to move much bigger. So that is why the majority reason is Bitcoin, why it moved from $1 to almost $1 lakh is mainly because of the technology behind it, and based on which you can build multiple applications or multiple transactions over it. So that is why people are giving preference to it. But as a trader, we don't need to give too much importance in all those factors. So a guy who is doing a day trading with respect to Infosys, he is least bothered about what the company fundamental is about. A guy who is doing a short-term trading, he doesn't need to know what the company business is into. Just like that, with respect to crypto, we don't need to bother much about the overall fundamental behind it. As a trader, we just need to focus on how much risk we are going to take in that and how much returns we are going to make from the risk that we are going to take. Accordingly, we have to act with respect to cryptocurrency. So coming to the legal point, with respect to India, yeah, crypto is legal and they have two different things. One is crypto spot and other one is crypto futures. So just like how you buy stocks in cash market, you can buy and hold these Bitcoins, Ethereum, Ripple, all these cryptocurrencies. But when you buy it in spot, you have to pay a 30% tax plus 1% TDS. That is the tax rules with respect to India who are trading with crypto. But when you do the same thing with respect to crypto FNO, there is no such regulations as 1% TDS or 30% tax. It will be considered as your overall income slab. So based on your income slab, you get taxed. So that is why companies like Delta Exchange gives you a platform only to trade with crypto FNO. They don't allow you to trade with respect to spot, so that you don't need to pay higher charges and get into all those TDS and stuff. So people who stick to FNO, they don't need to much worry about all the taxation part. And with respect to the risk involved, so earlier we have faced multiple platforms in India where they have shut shop and moved away. Like platforms like WazirX and platform like multiple other crypto exchange platform across the world gets hacked. So in cryptocurrency, getting hacked is very common. Like any exchange, even the best exchange could get hacked, because all these coins people buy get stored in a specific blockchain. So these are open network where people who have certain loopholes are there. If the technology is not robust enough, people the overall exchange itself gets hacked. But with respect to people who trade with FNO or people who trade with the platforms like Delta Exchange, there is no spot involved. So whatever the transaction that you make, it doesn't go and sit in the blockchain. Instead, it is all the transaction runs in the exchange itself. So there is no way people could come and hack, because there is no specific transaction that happens on the blockchain. It happens directly on the exchange. So whenever you deal with FNO, the only risk that is associated is with respect to the exchange. And these kind of exchanges like Delta exchanges or even any new exchange that comes up, that is totally relatively new. So for people like us who trade for a longer period of time, we need trust to build. So it might take a few more years for people to build trust, and then eventually they can put more capital in that. But as far as I am concerned, what I do is, when I trade with Zerodha, if I trade with 2 crores of capital, I need to put all the 2 crores there and have to trade so that I get the margin, and then I trade based on that. But when I trade with crypto, what I do is, I don't put all my capital there. I just put only my drawdown capital. Say suppose if I have 10 lakhs of capital and I expect 1 lakh to be the overall drawdown or 1 lakh to be the risk. What I do is, I put this 1 lakh and take a higher leverage. I can take 10x leverage, 20x leverage, even they provided 200x leverage. So in this case, what happens is, I'm risking only my drawdown capital and then I'm trading that. Whereas here, when you trade with respect to Indian markets, you have to put all your capital because the margin is so high. Since with respect to crypto, the leverage is so high, you can just keep the risk capital and take a higher leverage and trade on that. So even if the exchange shuts down, your risk is minimized with respect to whatever the capital that you put in. So to get started with, I have given the link to open an account with Delta Exchange in the description, using which you can open an account so that you get a 10% discount on whatever the overall transaction charges that you face. And once you open the account, you just open the home page where it would show you two different lists, options and futures. So first let's focus on the futures part, and then let's move on to the options part later on. And with respect to futures, you have so many futures, just like how we have 200 plus stock futures. Here there are some 80 to 90 different coin futures. So certain coins like Bitcoins, Ethereum, Solana, or these coins has a higher leverage. They can give you 200x leverage. And there are other coins where that are relatively new will get, or relatively have a higher volatility, will get 20x leverage. And with respect to options, when you trade on options, you have daily expiries here. And with respect to Indian markets, we have weekly expiry, and that too only with respect to Sensex and Nifty. And here you have no options expiry on two coins only, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum, BTC and ETH. And both the coins will have daily expiry. Every day there is an expiry. So everyday expiry will be, in respect to our time, it is 5:30 p.m. So every day by 5:30 p.m. the current contract gets closed and the new contract gets opened. And people who wish to trade with options, if you see, the overall premiums are relatively higher when you trade with Bitcoin. Say for an example, a normal short straddle Bitcoin will have a $500 on the call option and $500 on the put option. So overall straddle premium itself is $1,000. And when you check the IV, it is almost 42%. So the IV is relatively higher here, which gets compensated with respect to the overall bid and ask spread. So like if you see the overall slippages, like the overall bid is $490, the overall ask is $500. So there is almost $10 to $15 of spreads. That is always will be there with respect to cryptocurrency, because the options liquidity is relatively lesser here. But when you compare that with futures, then you will not see a bigger slippages here. If you see what is the bid and ask here, you will see this the overall slippages or overall spread between the bid and ask is very, very minimal. In fact, that is much lesser than what we trade with respect to Bank Nifty futures or Nifty futures. So the liquidity in futures is relatively higher in cryptocurrency. And coming to the lot size, just like how we have Nifty 75 quantity, Sensex 20 lots, that is the overall lot size equal to quantity. Right here, one lot is equal to 0.001 BTC. So you can buy on a fractional units here. So if Bitcoin is trading at $1 lakh, you don't need to put $1 lakh to buy it. Since it is allowing you to buy it in fractional, you can easily buy it. Say suppose if I wanted to buy one lot, you just type one lot, it will automatically buy 0.01 BTC. And overall margin that is required to buy one lot is only just 0.5. So 50 cents is all you need. So if you wanted to buy 10 lots, just mention 10 lot, it will block $5 margin. And if you just click on execute, automatically the order will go through and you just bought it. And you are buying just 10 lots of overall BTC, which is 0.01 BTC. And as long as the market keeps moving up, the overall margin gets updated. I mean, the overall P&L gets updated here. And for 10 lots, $5 is the maximum margin that gets blocked. And you can set your trailing stop loss just like how you trade with respect to normal Bank Nifty futures or Nifty futures. So there is no big difference here. And people who wish to trade with options, so as you know that many people who trade with 0DTE are expecting the options to go worthless, the OTM options to go worthless. Say suppose currently Bitcoin is trading around 1,03,300. So whatever the call option that trades above this level goes to zero, and whatever the put option that trades below this level goes to zero, right? So people who wanted to short, okay, this specific call, a put option which is trading at $100 might go to zero. So currently, say suppose the Bitcoin is around $1,03,000. So I wanted to short a particular Bitcoin which is around $1 lakh. So if I just click on this and click on market, and whatever the number of lots that I wanted to trade, say suppose I wanted to short 10 lots, then you just click on 10 and you just click on margin. So approximately if you wanted to short 10 lots, $10 is the maximum margin that is required, and accordingly it will show you how much premium you are going to receive. Like I'm going to receive 7 cents if this specific strike goes to zero. So if I'm going to short a short straddle, say suppose I'm going to short this particular put option which is around $400. See if I'm shorting $10, 10 lots of it, same $10 margin gets blocked here. But my premium margin that I might get in case if this option decays is almost $4. So for $10 that gets blocked, I get $4, which is almost 40% returns. You got it? So because of the higher leverage and because of the overall higher IV, the expected returns is relatively higher when you trade with respect to crypto options. So these kind of big spreads gets compensated because of the expected returns. So to simply buy short sell this, all I have to do is just select whatever the straddle that I wanted to short, and say suppose I'm entering 10 lots, I'll just click on sell and it gets sold immediately. And the same strike, if I on the call side, if I wanted to short, I click on this market and then enter 10 lots, then click on sell and it gets placed immediately. So if you scroll down and see, you will see, okay, both the call option and put option has been shorted, and this is the overall margin that gets blocked. And in case if both the option goes to zero, this is the overall cash flow. Cash flow is nothing but this is the premium that you're expected to get. So accordingly you can decide. So in case if you wanted to set the stop loss on the underlying or on the premium, you can select. Say suppose I want to set the stop loss on the underlying, I just select it and click on index. Say I wanted to keep, if the underlying moves 2%, I wanted to exit. So that's all. If I just mention that, automatically my stop loss gets placed on the underlying. Where in India you don't get an option to place a stop loss on underlying, but here with respect to cryptocurrency, either you can place a stop loss on underlying or you can place it on the overall premiums also. And coming to the fees is relatively higher when you trade with crypto. Do not expect the same 20%, 20 rupees per order which we used to pay with to Zerodha or other platforms to be applicable in crypto, because in crypto it is all based on turnover. Say suppose I am buying a Bitcoin at $1,05,000 and then I am selling it around $1,05,100, or no, say suppose $200. Then whatever the number of lots, say suppose I'm buying 10 lots, so I'm not buying and selling with respect to $200 difference, so I'm about to make $200, right? But the points of break even itself is 124, which means that 0.1% of Bitcoin. So if it is trading at $1 lakh, at least you need to make more than 100 points just to cover the cost. So if I'm just buying and selling at the same price, say if I'm buying at 1,05,000 and 1,05,000, I end up losing the money of $1, because the break-even point itself is almost 123. So here, with respect to when you are trading with specifically with respect to Bitcoin, which is trading at $1 lakh, if you are just buying and selling with respect to $10 or $20, you are definitely going to lose money. So minimum you need to have a break-even point of $100. So if you're buying at 1,05,000, make sure that you're selling more than $100 so that the overall cost gets covered. Similarly, when you're dealing with options, say suppose I'm buying a Bitcoin option at $500 and then I'm selling it at $500. Then here if you see, overall I'm still losing money, because the break-even point for an option which is 500, it should be 73 points. So which means that if I am buying at 500, I should sell at 600, so that at least I'll be in a profitable zone. So I am making almost the 73 points is the break-even point if you're trading with options where the premium is 500. Suppose if the premium is 100, okay, then the break-even point is 23. So which means that approximately 23% of the premium is the break-even point for you to make profits. So you can't just buy at 100 and sell at 110 to make profits. So you have to make sure you are giving enough room. So at least more than 20 or 25%, you need to give enough room so that the charges gets covered here. Adding funds is relatively easier here. You just have to add your specific account, bank account, and from there you can either make a UPI transfer or you can select a bank transfer, from which automatically the fund gets transferred to your account and it gets immediately reflected. So when you select the bank accounts, then you will see two options where IMPS you will have one option, and then for NEFT you will have one option. So when you're transferring from IMPS, say suppose if the fund transfer is IMPS mode, make sure you use this account number. So these account numbers are correct, totally mapped to your account. So you have to transfer only from your account. And when you select NEFT, then there is a separate account number. So don't get confused and transfer in different accounts. So based on either you can do an UPI transfer or you can do an IMPS transfer or you can do an NEFT transfer, immediately it gets reflected. In case if you wanted to withdraw, you can directly place a withdrawal request and it gets immediately added in your account, like within 24 hours. The withdrawal gets processed and added in your account. So people who wanted to get started with crypto, I would advise you to get started with respect to futures, because futures has a higher liquidity and higher leverage. And with respect to options, people who wanted to explore the zero DTE, yeah, there is only two options where you can trade with respect to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And initially you can try with straddles and strangles, and don't try to trade with a higher capital initially. Just get used to the platform and do not get confused with lot many terminologies. We don't need to worry as a trader to bother about all those terminologies with respect to crypto. All you have to focus on futures and options. Make sure how much risk you are going to take with each and every trade, and accordingly take your trades. So I hope this video would be really helpful for you to take your first trade. In the coming sessions, I'll start exploring what are the other things that you could do with respect to this platform, and also with respect to Bitcoins, ETH, and other coins. If you have any specific doubts with whatever things that I have discussed now, you can post it in the comment section. I'll address it. Thank you. I'll see you guys next week with another video. Bye.